Right, like now. Well, namaste everyone. Thanks for joining in the Hindi University. This is me, Ashutosh. As you know, we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. US Eastern to learn the Hindi language. And in this particular session, we've been learning some of the advanced topics in the Hindi class, and that's what we're going to continue in this session as well. For those of you who are new to Hindi University, you can learn more about us by going to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hindi University, and you can pretty much find a lot of Hindi videos. And depending upon your current level, you can decide which level you are at and start learning it from there. Okay. So as I said, like in the next 40-45 minutes, I'm looking forward for your participation, and hopefully by the end of this class you will be able to speak better Hindi, and you'll be able to make more sentences. Okay. um, in the previous classes, if you probably have noticed, we've learned, we are taking a particular track where we are learning how to say two verbs together. For example, to allow, to sing, right? Or that's what we learned in the previous class. Before that we learned subjunctive verbs, right? So in this class, the idea is something similar. We will learn how to use two verbs together. Okay. Using two verbs together, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on that as kind of we make progress on this particular lecture. Okay. Before I move further, just give me a quick thumbs up if the audio is good on the Facebook. If you can hear me. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's keep going now. So if you remember, so far, um, the classes that we've learned how to use past indefinite. Okay, in which we practice sentences like he laughed. Okay, and we practice it using both the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. Okay, something similar like a sentence could be he started. Okay, he started could be usne shuru kiya. Okay, because it's an intransitive, a transitive verb. Okay, he started work, he started his new job, anything like that, right? So that's your scenario number one, type one sentences. Okay, the types two sentences could be in which we learned present indefinite. Okay, present indefinite in which you are saying he sings or she sings, वह गाता है और वह गाती है. Okay, what about our sentence is something like, it's a combination of both of them, where you are saying he started singing. Okay, or she started dancing. Okay, or it started raining. What about you are coming across these kind of sentences, and if you want to convey them in Hindi, how do you say that? Okay, again, if you notice what I was saying before, there are two verbs. Okay, this one start and as well as sing. Okay, um, some of the textbooks, the same sentences, can be conveyed using, he started to sing, which is more or less the same, and similarly, it started to rain, which is again more or less the same. The concept is how do you say them, or the idea is like how do you say them in Hindi. Okay, so before I give you a clue, I'm gonna ask Chelsea ji if you are familiar with how to say them, these sentences in Hindi. You want to give it a try? Take the first one.
The first one, he started singing.
Yeah.
वो गाना शुरू की.
Okay.
This bar.
Okay. Right. You're almost there.
वो गाना.
Gana is
To sing.
okay. Gana is to sing. To start is
Shuru.
okay, shuru, and then
Oh, let me think.
it's okay. So basically, you're trying to use this word called shuru karna. Okay,
Yeah.
that's one way to say it. What you're trying to say is usne gana shuru kiya. Okay,
Mhm.
he began singing. Okay, or
Mhm.
usne gana shuru kiya can be. It's true for she began singing too. Okay, but in this class, I'm gonna cover a generic pattern that can be used across all the sentences, where you don't have to use ne at all. Okay, so what the way you say them is like वह. Let's start. Let's at the very basic. We'll come to it. The answer. Let's the very basic. The verb is to start. At the very basic, the verb is. Give me just 1 minute. To begin to sing or to start to sing. Okay, which means गाने लगना. At the very basic, that's what you should be remembering. To start to sing or to begin to sing. So, okay. So at the very basic, you should remember, the verb. Okay. Whenever, you are about to do something, it's like to start to sing, it could gaane lagna. Okay. Similarly, if it is um, to begin to cry, and we'll come to the answer also, so don't worry about that. To begin to cry, it would be to cry is rona. Okay, but because you're using one more verb, it will change into an oblique case and it will be rone lagna. Okay, we're still using it in the infinitive form, so don't worry, we'll come to the answer again. So the way you will write it is you'll write it as ra with o and then na with a, rone, and then you will la, g, and na with a, rone lagna. Okay, I want to practice some more verbs and then we'll come back to the scenarios. First of all, I just want to make sure your basics are clear, so you should practice the verbs. What if it is to begin to laugh? Okay, so this is the first one, and the second one I want to quiz you on, it's to begin to play. To begin to play. How do you say that? So I'm going to just take a pause here and I'm going to ask you guys to tell me how will you say these verbs. Okay, to begin to laugh and to begin to play. You can look at the example that I covered. Okay, Ilanji, you already answered the first one. Okay, Riyaji. Okay, so very good, right? So as you guys mentioned already, let me kind of wait for some more people. Okay, so we have good answers, good number of answers now, right? So the first one, as most of you mentioned, it would be the first one is hasne lagna. To laugh is hasna. What you have done is like you kind of converted the last part a with a. Okay, so hasne lagna. Okay, and the second one is khelne lagna. To play is khelna, and that's what you've done. You've converted it into khelne lagna. Okay, I'm gonna give you some more exercises here so you kind of get familiar with this concept. Okay, so more that I have here is to begin to talk. Okay, and to begin to let me think and to begin uh, to talk and to begin to let's say to teach. Okay, let's see if you guys can cover these two as well. To begin to talk and then to begin to teach. Carolina ji, yes. Khelne. Okay, so that's the only change. Otherwise, your verb is correct. So it will be ne, not na. Okay. Um. Okay. Very good. Very good. Right. So I think you guys got it. To begin to talk. To talk is bolna. Okay. So then it will be bolne lagna. Okay. To teach is padhana. Okay. Then it will be padhane lagna. Okay, so I'm glad most of you are on the same page. So you understand how to make the or create the base form of the word. Now, let me take a pause here and let me, you know, start by asking why do you think it's important to learn about this? Where will you use these kind of sentences? Okay, so Chelsea ji, you mind, just think about like where will you use these kind of sentences? Let me unmute you.
I think if you're telling a story, maybe.
Okay, if you're telling a story. Okay, what about yeah, what else? Where else?
Or like you're describing something that you did, kind of like in the story, like I began to talk and then this happened.
Yeah, that's right, right? You're absolutely right. When you're telling a story and when you're describing some event or weather, okay, or when you're describing the impact of something on someone, right? So, for example, after getting treatment from the doctor, she began to talk. Okay, after getting motivated, she began teaching. Okay, or after hearing the emotional song, he or she started crying, as you mentioned, right? I mean, it's basically describing. Okay, all good. So now we will jump to the solutioning aspect of it. Now we will cover the different sentences. Okay, now that you've covered the base form of the verb here. So let's cover the first sentence. Um, and again, before I go to the sentence, I want to cover the same thing, right? To began. So something so far you've done to begin to eat. Same thing. You will say to eat is khana. So you will say khane lagna. Okay. So far we are all saying it in the present tense. What about the same thing you have began to eat or started to eat? Okay, you have to change it, right? So it will be in the past tense. The way you will say it, you will say khane, and this will change. So you will say khane laga, or khane lagi, or khane lage, based on the pronoun of that is there in the sentence. Okay, so you will say khane laga for masculine singular. You will say khane lage for masculine plural, khane lagi for feminine singular, and khane lagi for feminine plural. Okay, there's a nasalized sound there. Okay, um, let's start using it in a sentence. So let's say your sentence is she started she started to eat food. Okay, she started to eat food. Okay, what do you think the Hindi translation of this sentence would be, or how will you say this sentence in Hindi? Okay, I'm gonna take a pause here and I'm gonna see what you guys do, all of you, before I think it should be straightforward now. Now that we have learned the basics, and that's the entire goal to basically give you the concept and let you make the sentences. So take your time. Okay, Riyaji, thank you so much. Let's see what other people. Okay, awesome, Carolina ji. Okay, awesome. So The first thing that should come to your mind is you should look at the sentence, or even when you are thinking about saying this sentence, you should think that, I'm trying to use it in two different verbs. Okay, and so that's the first thing. I'm gonna take this verb and this verb. Okay, so the to eat is khana. Okay, and then I'm trying to use it with started or to begin. So it will be khane lagna, but I'm using it in the past tense. Okay, so you'll say khane, and then lagna, which for the feminine singular would be for she is vah. Okay, so you'll say vah khane and then lagi, feminine singular. Okay, वह खाने लगी. Now, food is also considered in Hindi, it's khana, so don't get confused with that. It's not a verb, it's a noun. Okay, so you'll say वह खाना खाने लगी, as simple as that. Okay, वह खाना खाने लगी. If it is a he, then you will say वह खाना खाने लगा. Okay, if you're saying it for they, like then you'll say वे खाना खाने लगे. Okay, um, now let's learn more basic sentences. So let's say, group of friends, they went to some stand-up comedy show. Okay, as soon as the speaker or the person who's performing, as soon as he start performing, the audience started laughing. Okay, now how will you say this in Hindi? The audience started laughing. Okay, again, take your time, there's no rush. And again, as I said, like there's no, negative remarks here. So anybody who's listening, you should definitely participate. It doesn't matter even if your, sentence is not correct. Just give it a try. The audience started laughing. Okay. Shirinji, good going there. So think of it as like a plural. It's a group of, people. So yeah, so if you're not sure about the gender here, think of it as like plural. So it's fair to say audience, and then I'm going to come to the Hindi part of it, right? So you'll say hasne lage, audience hasne lage. And the Hindi word for audience, it's a little bit difficult, so bear with me. You can say it's basically shrota. Shrota, okay? And the way you will write it in Hindi, you have a shra with O, and you have a ta with a. Shrota. Shrota is someone who listens, okay? Any audience, right? Shrota. Um, okay, so you can say Shrota hasne lage, but it's in a very casual Hindi, it's not used that commonly. Okay, so it's only if you are in a formal setting, you can use this word and people will understand it. Okay, so audience hasne lage. Okay, now, so hopefully this is clear. Now we will, you know, we'll try to cover some more complicated sentences, because it's a very powerful, formula, and if you start thinking about it, then you will realize that there are many more sentences you can make with it, right? As Chelsea ji mentioned, like if you're telling a story or if you're describing an event, but you just have to get into the habit of it. Okay, so now let's just do some more exercises. Let's say you want to say it started raining. It started raining, and you want to say it in Hindi. Okay, it's A little bit of a trick is there, but I don't think you should have any problem. So give it a try. How will you say that? Okay, very good. Chelsea Ji. It started raining. Give it a try. Okay. Ilanji, good going there. And Shireen, same here. All right. So let's see. Chelsea Ji, let me unmute you and you tell me. Okay, give me just 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to unmute you now. Tell me your sentence and how you came up with it.
बारिश होने लगी.
Okay, so you wrote, give me 1 minute. You said बारिश होने बारिश होने लगी. Explain it.
First, I think like I know the sentence बारिश हो रही है.
Okay, so you know the sentence बारिश हो रही है. Okay.
So I know there's ho or hona in there, and I know it's feminine. So I just used the formula we just learned. So hona was hone, and lagi because it's feminine.
Okay. So rain is considered a feminine in Hindi. So that's you're absolutely right there. Okay. And you're saying is like, to happen, right? There's a notion of to happen here. And to happen, it's basically hona. Okay. So the verb here is basically hona with lagi. Okay. But because it's feminine, you will say barish hone lagi. Okay, barish hone lagi. And actually even though it may come across like it's as a verb, but it's not a verb here, right? It's basically using it as like a subject here, that rain is happening here, right? So that's why you're saying barish hone lagi. So it was sort of a trick question, but I'm glad you guys were able to figure it out. And Riaji, I hope this is clear. In general, if you want to say like it's raining, you will say barish ho rahi hai. Okay. Or even if it is snowing, you will say snow ho rahi hai. Okay. And if you want to say that it started snowing, you will say snow hone lagi. Okay. Or barf girne lagi. Either way is right. Okay. So let's keep going, and we'll make more and more sentences. So now the next one is like the next one I have is basically um, so let's make it a little bit complicated. After hearing, okay, after hearing about the climate change, after hearing about the climate change, they started to grow trees. They started to grow trees. So don't get worried if the sentence sounds longer. Start with the second part. They started to grow trees. Okay, and then we'll jump to the first part. Take your time, no rush. If something is not clear, ask questions. It's just a long sentence, trust me. It's a very simple one once you start working on it. They started to grow tree. Okay. You want to give it a try, LCG? Start with the second sentence first.
Okay. I'm not sure how to say to grow, but I thought maybe it could be ve paid bade
Hmm.
karne lage.
Okay, so
So
we paired, and then
I said bade, like to
no,
make big.
so I think what I'm trying to say, they started to plant trees. So paid lagana. That's the verb. Okay.
Okay, paid lagane,
Mm-hmm.
lagane lage.
Very good. They paid lagane lage. So the verb here is really paid lagana. To grow tree is nothing but paid lagana. Okay. So that converted into lagane, paid lagane lage. That's what you said. And paid is nothing but tree. So for those of you who are not familiar, uh, tree is nothing but paid. So that's day is way. Okay. Trees is paid. Okay. And then paid lagana is the word here, to grow or to plant. And then, this part should be clear to you because we're using it in the past and they started to grow trees. Okay, now let's worry about this one. After hearing about the climate change, you want to give this one a try?
Okay. Climate change के बारे में
Mhm.
सोने के बाद.
Very good, right? Climate change के बारे में, hearing, right? सुनने के बाद, सुनने के बाद. Now, this one, I'm sure it's a little bit complicated for a lot of people. You want to break it down? How did you come up with this?
Yeah. So about climate change. About is ke bare mein.
Okay. So about is के बारे में.
Yeah, and
So
that
when you
goes
say
after
about the,
climate change.
okay. So when you say about the climate change, meaning climate change के बारे में. Okay. About me is मेरे बारे में. Okay. About you is आपके बारे में. About us is
हमें
हमारे बारे में. Right?
बारे.
हमारे बारे में, right? So similarly, about the climate change is climate change के बारे में. Okay. After hearing, keep going now.
And then
Huh?
yeah, to listen is sunna.
Okay.
So sunne ke baad is after listening.
After hearing or after listening is सुनने के बाद. Okay. After speaking is बोलने के बाद. Okay. After watching is देखने के बाद. So let me break it down further so that way it's clear for everyone. Okay, but good job there. It was a little bit longer sentence, but you were able to kind of dissect it. So let me just repeat it for some of you, who still kind of relatively new. It's always good to do the revision even for people who are familiar with it. So after hearing is, as I said, you will take the verb. To hear is sunna. Okay. So what you're doing is, like, again, sunne ke baad. So what you've done is replace the na with ne. Okay. Sunne ke baad. Okay. After speaking, to speak is bolna. Okay. Then you when you say after speaking, it would be bolne ke baad. Okay. After teaching, okay, padhane ke baad. Okay, so I'm going to write down three examples here. So that's what it is after hearing. Now, as Chelsea ji mentioned, about is in Hindi is ke bare mein. Okay, I gave you already some example. We are talking about Hindi ke bare mein. Okay, um, साइंस के बारे में. ओके, वेदर के बारे में. ओके, और मौसम के बारे में. ओके, लेट्स से यू आर टॉकिंग टू समवन, से हम बातें कर रहे हैं. Okay, and they are asking you किस बारे में, about what, and then you can say, आपके बारे में, about you, right? So that will be correct. So in this case, it's about the climate change, right? So climate change के बारे में. Okay, and again, some of you, if you're interested in climate change, how do you say um, you know climate change in Hindi? It's a little bit longer, but I can cover it offline. um, Okay, but then hopefully the second part should be simple. They started to grow tree, वे पेड़ लगाने लगे. So let me erase it, so that way at least I can kind of give you some more. I'm gonna just like write some more examples for you, similar to after hearing. So after, um, let's say we, after hearing is after speaking will be बोलने के बाद, and this is simply for your notes. Okay, and after um, singing, गाने के बाद. Same thing if this is said like before speaking, you will say बोलने से पहले. Okay, um, before singing, गाने से पहले. Same thing, but it will be reversed. Okay, so hopefully this is clear. Um, let me take a quick pause to see if there are any questions before I, um, before we move towards the next sentence. So this is correct, Ilanji. सुनने के बाद is nothing but सुनकर or सुनके. Okay, you're absolutely correct. It's really depends on how you are, saying the sentence. Okay, but it's correct. Okay, you can say वह गाना सुनकर नाचने लगा. Okay, and this is as good as like वह गाना सुनने के बाद नाचने लगा. Okay, so you are correct about it. Any other question? That was a good one. Okay, so let's keep going. We still have a little bit more time, so now I'm going to cover some more sentence. So I'm going to cover some more sentence here. This one I have is like after hearing the emotional song, they began to. So again, this may sound like a repetition, but as I said, it's very important, especially as you're practicing it, that you kind of like practice more and more. Okay, so this one is after hearing the emotional song, after hearing or after hearing or listening, after listening to the emotional song, they started crying. Okay, so let's cover this one, and after that I'm gonna make it open-ended, and I'm gonna ask you guys to at least write down 3 sentences that comes to your mind. Okay, which is different than what we've covered. That will be sort of the not a homework exercise, because I don't get to get any homework from you guys, so we'll do in-class exercise. So as we are in the class, I want you to after this. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some time now. Okay, Ilanji, good one. No worries, Carolina ji. Okay, so good work here. Emotional गाना सुनने के बाद वे रोने लगे. Good work there, right? So what you've written is, okay, you've written like emotional गाना सुनने के बाद, okay, वे रोने लगे. Okay, so I think most of you wrote the same, sentence. They started crying or they started to cry would be वे रोने लगे. Emotional गाना सुनने के बाद. Okay, you can say, as Ilan ji mentioned, you can also say emotional गाना सुनकर. Okay, सुनकर वे रोने लगे. Um, as far as the Hindi word for emotional song is concerned, that's an homework exercise for you guys. Go talk to any of the native speakers. Ask them how to say emotional in Hindi. Okay, and then tell me what you learn in the next class. Okay. So now what we're gonna do? I'm gonna give you guys some more time. Okay. The ask here is to write 3 sentences. Okay, and you can write more, but I'm gonna keep it simple for you. 3 sentences using what we learned today, using what we learn. Okay, so I'm gonna then gonna just go through the round, and I'm gonna either read your sentences or I'm gonna ask you to say it. Write them as realistic as possible. Think about what, after going through this lecture, what would you like to say to your friends. Okay, or how would you like to utilize it in your day-to-day life. So take your time, and then I'm gonna ask you. Okay. All right. So let me start with Chelsea Ji. So give me just 1 minute, and I'm gonna unmute you, and then we'll go across the room and ask everyone else. You wanna say it, Chelsea Ji?
So you want me to say the sentence in English? Something I would like to say?
Yeah, sure. Start with English, and then you can then translate it in Hindi.
After going outside for a walk, it started to rain.
Okay. After going outside for a walk, it started to rain. Okay.
So then you want me to say it in Hindi?
Yeah. Say it.
Okay, let me think. बाहर चलने के बाद
Mm-hmm. बाहर
रोने
बाहर जाने के बाद
बाहर जाने के बाद रोने लगी. No, not रोने. बारिश हो लगी.
बारिश होने लगी. Okay. I think what you're trying to say is like, when I went outside,
Yeah.
it started to rain. This part is correct. Okay. You can say this one in many different ways. जब मैं बाहर गई, it started to rain. Okay. जब मैं walk पे गई. Okay. Then you can say it that way. जब मैं बाहर गई, जब मैं walk पे गई, it started to rain. बारिश होने लगी. Okay. You want to say more sentences? See, it's harder, right? When I ask. Take your time. Let me see if other people can. So, okay. So, Ilanji, she's written, after getting up, I started to brush my teeth. Okay, which is good, right? She's saying, उठने के बाद मैं दांत साफ करने लगी. Very good. मैं अपने दांत साफ करने लगी. Okay. Okay. So, Shireen ji is saying, after hearing this lecture, I started to speak many sentences. लेक्चर सुनने के बाद मैं बहुत सी चीजें बयां करने लगी और बोलने लगी. Very good. So Riya ji is saying her favorite thing, after coming back from office, he started to play video games. ऑफिस से आने के बाद वह वीडियो गेम खेलने लगा. See, you guys can come up with way more sentences than I in the lecture, right? So What else? Keep going. It's all good. खेलने के बाद हम स्विमिंग करने लगे. That's what you're trying to say, Carolina ji, which is very good. What else? At least I want one sentence from all of you. So you what you're trying to say is like after playing we started swimming or we started to swim. If you want to say we went swimming, you will say हम swimming करने गए. Okay. Um, okay. Anybody else who would like to participate? Give it a try. Okay. All right. Um, Anything else came to your mind, Chelsea ji?
I was thinking maybe something like after coming back from vacation, she started to miss
Okay.
that place.
Very good. Right. So let me write it down. It's a good sentence. After coming back from vacation, she started to miss what?
That place or some
Okay.
specific place we can
So
make up.
start to miss, let's say Italy.
Okay.
Okay.
So chutti,
Yep.
वापस
Okay.
आने के बाद
छुट्टी से वापस आने के बाद. Okay.
वह
Mm-hmm.
इटली की याद आने लगी.
Okay. You can say वह इटली मिस करने लगी.
Okay.
ओके. वह इटली मिस करने लगी और उसको इटली की याद आने लगी. ओके. That will be correct. So that's all for this class, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you learned a new concept today. In the next class we'll build on top of it. Okay. So um, for some reason, for some of you, if you're not able to attend today's class, I'm going to just post it online, so you can kind of brush it up and prepared for the next stay prepared for the next one. But I hope this was useful for most of you. We've not covered it in the last 450 lectures that you have on the YouTube channel. And I hope you'll be able to kind of use it on your day-to-day life. For those of you who joined through the YouTube live streaming as well as on Google Hangout, thank you so much. I'm going to stop the broadcast. Have a good rest of the Sunday.